What's your problem, bro? We're trying to have a good time. Nope. Who the hell are you? What the hell? Come on! We got to go to the circus!
What is going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We have the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brett. Brett, man, is right over there. 2022, and once again, is coming to an end. What an awesome freaking year for flicks, man. Today, we're going to be giving you guys our top 20 movies of the year. That's all genres, ladies and gents. That's not just horror, though there will be a lot of horror flicks in these top 20s. I can guarantee you that much.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about everything today, man. It's going to be epic. It's going to, there's a lot of good movies this year. I think I saw close to 50. I think Birdie probably saw more than I did. And yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know what? That's a very good question. How many movies from 2023 did I see? I have saw 63 different movies from 2022.
You son of a bitch. I only saw like 48.
But you did have what we call a little bit of a hiccup along the way between September and October, but it's the best kind of hiccup. So I bet that was why. I think you'll beat me next year.
I'll try, man. I'm gonna be back in the theater next year, so I'm really excited about it. I didn't get to see a lot of the movies on the tail end of the year, man, but I did. Again, I saw a fair share, and I'm excited, man. I'm pumped. I'm jacked. I'm ready to talk about this. Is always my most exciting thing to do every year is rank all the movies that comes out. I always keep the list on Letterboxd running. Every time I see a movie, I pop it on there because I'm always looking forward to see how it's going to be at the end of the year. You know what I mean? And it's just the show that I'm always excited about.
But yeah, not only with that, I'm always interested in seeing your list, and I'm excited for you to see my list. But most importantly of all, we want to see what the freaking our followers think too. What are their top 20, or whether their top 10, or hell, just what are their favorite movies from the year 2022? You can let us know in that comment section down below, or even in the chat. We are going to just be highlighting kind of like your all's comments along the way, mostly because again, we are doing 20 versus the traditional 10, so we're going to have to pretty much go at a good pace here.
Yeah, we'll get to like you said, we'll get to as much as we can. We're going to still have a good time tonight. Oh yeah, dude. If you count those, man, I mean, we're talking.
He's going to bring in the sex bots. Dadgummit.
We're talking. That movie goes up quite a bit, man. But yeah, we'll try to get to everything that we can, guys. If y'all have a top 20, if y'all are keeping track of this on Letterboxd, feel free to join us in the comments, the chat over there. Put your 20 when we're at 20 and so forth. Chris did that the other night in our premiere for horror movies, which, by the way, my list has already changed probably from that. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, he was doing that the other night. He was dropping that 10, 9, 8, 7 throughout. And I thought that was a lot of fun. So if you guys have that list, feel free to join. We'll be looking. We'll be keeping track of it. And we'll even highlight some of those. And yeah, that'll be fun, man. So going to be awesome.
Yeah, going to be awesome. So let me say hello to some people real quick. If they will just freaking jump on into things. Good Real Hunting. We don't know those ass hats. Lamontre, what's going on? Yo, Adrian, how you doing? The movie review or ranker. This is Nick Cooling, our good old buddy, good old pal. He's been doing a great job with his relaunch on his channel. He earlier today did his 51 movies of 2022. So after you watch our top 20, if you're interested in hearing more movies that we're possibly going to leave off, trust me, we are going to leave some off. Go over to Nick's channel and watch his live stream he did earlier. He did a fantastic job with that. And then we saw Brother Fluv earlier. Our boy Chris Snyder, what's going on? Just let me put up my top 20 and let's play along. Yeah, absolutely. Play along. We love to watch everybody's. Let's see here. Rosie, here is your rose, my dear. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let's see here. My Killer Podcast. This is Mel. What's going on there, Mel? How are you doing?
Oh,
I saw she had a live stream the other night, so awesome job. I know you're starting to be new, hosting live streams on your channel now. So if you are not subscribed to My Killer Podcast, please do so, because she does an excellent job over there. Let's see here. I believe that's everybody. If I miss anybody, let me know. But there's Chad. What's going on? Chad say, Brad, I hope Jeepers Creepers isn't on the list.
You bet your ass it's not going to be on that list. That's one thing you don't have to worry about. There's some things you might have to worry about a little bit. That's not one. That's not one
Yeah.
of them.
Even though I'm still damn curious, I want to see how bad it is, so I might just save it for the new year. Leon, I got a chance to talk to Leon a little bit over on Nick's channel in the chat as his live stream was going. But this is his first time on Good Real Hunting, so everybody, please make Leon feel welcome.
Yeah, dude, welcome to the party. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir. And Matt Fauci, what's going on, you sexy son of a bitch?
That is one sexy SOB, man.
On the house, 15 people. Oh, and then we got SPC Bird. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, we got freaking 15 people. So, go ahead, Brad.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you put that up right there.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, probably. I got really excited. I was reading. Yeah, I was reading the movie ranker thing, man. Talking about Jeepers Creepers being last out of 51.
Oh God, we don't need that freaking movie in our lifetime. It's Smudge. What's going on there? Saying I'm about to watch some stuff on Shudder so I can keep up with the top 10 horror lists on my favorite horror podcast 2022 shots of mods and horror. Hell to the yeah, my friend. We do have some Shudder exclusives on our top 20. So frick yeah. And the J Man, you just popped in. What's going on, my friend?
Hello and welcome, man.
And
good
sorry,
to see you,
lastly,
as always.
because we cannot forget these people. And Brad, I promise I'll shut up and let you get to your honorable mentions. But of course, we gotta acknowledge our Patreons here, the Real Hunters. And I'm going to actually take this banner off for a minute because we got a brand new Patreon as of late. His name is Bubba Goldenhawk. We do not know who this is, ladies and gentlemen. We can't make this up. So whoever you are, Bubba Goldenhawk, welcome to the Good Real being a real hunter and being part of the Good Real Hunting family on Patreon. And if you want to be a part of the Real Hunter crew, go to our Patreon, which the link is in the description down below, and join us because we would be honored if you joined us so you could be a real hunter today.
Yeah, and as always, man, if you don't want to be on Patreon, that's fine. Just being here, liking this channel, liking the videos rather, hitting that thumbs up. That's always quick and free, and it's easy. So that helps us out a lot. We're on a quest to 1,000 at this point, so that helps us out.
Yeah, because guess what? We are at 940, so we need 60 more, not only to get to 1K, but to also have a big 3-4 day channel extravaganza for celebrating 1K. We got some special stuff planned, but we got to get to 1K first if you want to see that awesome content.
Yes, extravaganza. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And guess what? What also is a extravaganza? This top 20. But before we could jump into the top 20, Brad, let's freaking do some honorable mentions. Chris, I saw your comment here. How many honorable mentions? I got 2, even though I'm really going to mention 3. And then before you start with yours, Brad, we got Jeff Man in the house. What's going on there, Jeff?
Welcome, Jeff. Yeah.
My name is Jeff. So let's see here. All right, let me get this banner up. Honorable mention. So, Brad, I'll let you click away first for your first honorable mention.
All right. Already after the other day, my horror list has changed a little bit. You're about to see that first change. And it's my first honorable mention is going to be Deadstream, man. I talked about it the other day in the show, our top 10 horror movies, man. This was one that I was really surprised by. I watched it on the whim on Shudder, and I really just freaking enjoyed it, man. A lot of fun. Evil Dead 2 vibes on found footage, some nice creepy moments in this haunted house. It's a good time, man. If you have Shudder, check it out. It's a cool poster, but you'll like the movie as well, I believe. Can we go ahead and do my second one or just the one right now, Birdie?
No, just freaking go ahead, man. Just let them freaking have it.
Let it fly. Let it fly. My second one is Smile, man. Talked about this a little bit the other day as well. I just think this movie was actually, again, it was surprising, but it was also kind of scary. This was actually one of the more scary movies of the year, I think. It had a lot of good scares in it. And I like the main character quite a bit. But the third act kind of slowed down things down a little bit for me. A couple other things, with pacing and stuff that I didn't like that much. But overall, it was a good flick and some really good effective jump scares, man.
Yeah, I'm just going to put my camera like this so when the poster comes up, you can still see me as we talk about it. Just, little presentation, a little fixer up there real quick. So let's see here. My turn with honorable mentions. So, and Brad, I just changed my list as you were talking, so that's why I had to. Because they gummit, because I watched Significant Other today. That was the last movie I watched before hopping on here. And freaking Monroe, man. So you'll see in a minute what change I made with her in it. So let's hear my honorable mention. We're gonna go with number 22 on my list. Where's the movie? Oh, don't worry, darlings, I found it. Don't worry, darling. This is with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles and Chris Pines. This movie was very interesting. It had a lot of major buzz, not only with the good, but also with the bad. But I thought it was just I thought it was really good, mainly for Chris Pine and Florence Pugh's performance. But dadgummit, I wish we would have kept Shia LaBeouf in this movie. I felt like he would have done a lot better job than Harry Styles. I know. Oh, damn, we just lost 2 female people. So we went down from 10 to 8 people watching. So sorry, ladies. Don't worry, darling. I still suggest a good watch on this, mainly just for Florence Pugh alone, because she was terrific in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it had an interesting story too. It did. It didn't make my list at all, but it was one flick. It was kind of a disappointment. You know, I actually thought it was going to be. It was one of my most anticipated of the year. Actually, if you saw that list at the beginning of 2022, but it didn't quite live up to his expectations. Still enjoyable. Still a good flick.
Yeah, still a good flick. So check it out. I believe it's on HBO Max right now since it's a WB production. So if you're curious, there you go. See here, my other honorable mention is going to be The Northman. And man, this is disappointing. This movie keeps on massively dropping for me every time I put a new movie onto the list. I don't want it to move it because this was a highly anticipated movie for me. It's not Robert Eggers' best film though. It's still really damn good, and all the character or the actors and actresses did a good job in it. But I feel like this was definitely one of his slower movies, even though visually it looks fantastic. Just for me, just not on my side of things. I was disappointed a little bit because with how high I had this in my anticipated list. But you know what? It still made honorable mentions, so that's better than what it could have been.
That's 100% true, accurate.
Yeah, most definitely. So, Brad, oh yeah, never mind. I fixed that one. So I actually just had those 2 honorable mentions. So, Brad, let's freaking dive in with your number 20.
I will. I had to get this comment from Flamethrower though. He said Jeepers Creepers is like pleasuring yourself with a cheese grater. Slightly amusing, but extremely painful.
What the hell, man? That's like
I will not.
That's like taking a saw to a freaking vajayjay, you know? Oh, wait a minute, that did happen.
I will not be watching Jeepers Creepers. But okay, I'm ready to rock. Let me get that going here real quick, Birdie. And 20 for Brad. Yes, I know this one. It's Hellraiser, man. Went to Hulu, straight to Hulu. Never been a huge Hellraiser fan. I liked the first movie. I thought it was really done well. It's gritty, it's grimy, it's nasty, it's gross, some good gore, some good effects for the time, some good performances, nice final girl. So I never really was too excited about this movie when they announced it. As they, kind of started announcing some of the cast and stuff, it grew my interest. I was intrigued. And then Hulu, obviously, after they dropped Prey, I was pretty excited at that point because I was like, man, these guys know what they're doing. This thing came out. I watched it. I dug it. Same thing, like the first movie. A lot of good gore, a lot of nasty stuff. I do wish this movie was nastier, though. I feel like it was quite polished, in my opinion. I feel like it was a little too clean. I felt like it could have been nastier. I wanted to take a shower after this, but I didn't actually want to do that. I wanted to want to do that, I should say, but I didn't want to do that. But I did really like the final girl and Riley. I thought she was a highlight of the year. She almost made my list of top characters. And this is one I could see myself watching time and time again because it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and dude, I absolutely agree with you. That's why Hellraiser did not enter my top 20 for that reason alone. In fact, I wanted to be dirtier. I want to feel icky and gross after watching it. I feel like that's what a Hellraiser movie is supposed to do for you. But unfortunately, the Hellraiser 2022 did not do that for me.
Yeah, man. It's a good effort.
And then, Guardians is a great one, Chris, because I did love that. That'll be a Christmas watch every year from now on. And then I saw Gory Tiger here. Let's get him up here. What's going on there, Gory Tiger?
Gory.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
And
Get
I'm
to
just
the
going to
banner.
highlight as I see people ranking their list. I'm just going to highlight them, even
No,
if we
and
don't get a chance to comment.
that's what we're
Yeah,
going to do. I've been meaning to do that, but guess what I did? I freaking changed my list again, so I apologize. I'll tell you, this one particular movie keeps on moving up for me, and I think I finally got it under control now. So I'll be good to go for highlighting comments as you talk. All right. So let's see here. My number 20 is going to be bear down 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 bear down 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 down. Yeah, it is Jackass Forever or Jackass 4. And this is for all the Jackass fans out here. Man, I didn't expect to like this movie as much as I did. Or would you even call it a movie, or would you just call it a freaking Jackass special?
I mean, that's the issue I had with it because I actually had a lot of fun watching this. This actually got me out of control. I started watching all the Jackass movies after I watched this for the first time for most of them. So yeah, but yeah, it is kind of hard to rank it in the middle of all these other movies because it's really just a bunch of random bits put together. But it was really fun, man. I had a good time with it. I actually like Jackass 4.5, I think, more than this one. Which
I still
like
need to watch that one.
Yeah, it was funny as hell, but I like the part with yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that went down. We're talking
dude, there's
dicks
so
getting
much crazy
smashed
shit that
between
went. Oh, and
playing ping
freaking
pong. Remember they're
bumblebees
playing
and
ping pong?
bears. Oh my god.
Oh god.
And then, of course, the intro of this movie freaking sets the tempo of what the hell you're expecting. But definitely my favorite one is when they did the Silence of the Lambs. That one had me like freaking uncontrollably laughing at the theater. And another reason what makes it so high up too, I had a great crowd when we watched this movie, and we were all freaking just laughing our asses off. So that's freaking awesome too. So my number 20 is Jackass Forever.
Yeah, dude, that was a fun time. All right, let me get my number 19 pulled up here. I think I just saw somebody actually talking about this. But number 19, this one actually moved up a few slots too. That's going to be The Watcher, man. This is one that I'm sure it's going to be much higher on Brett's list because it was pretty high on his horror movie list. But
damn
man,
it,
the poster actually.
this is exactly the movie that I was moving up like the past couple of times.
The poster is just money. The poster actually tells you everything you need to know. It's this stalking movie. Supposedly this girl's getting stalked, and she just kind of looks out the window, and you can see it in the poster. There's this dude always looking out the window at her, which is creepy as fuck. And that's pretty much the premise. And the whole movie plays out, and you don't know if she's telling, like, if she's actually like this is all kind of something in her head, or if this is actually going on. It's a lot of really good time. Slow burn, man. Very atmospheric. Very good performance by Mike Monroe in this thing. So if you guys haven't checked it out, man, watch it. I know Brett didn't like the ending as much. I thought the third act was all like the ending and everything was badass too. I thought it was a lot of freaking a nice little, a nice unexpected ending. I really dug it.
Man, I need to watch this. I'm just stupid. I'm just more mad at myself now because I should have watched this movie right before this stream to see if it needed to move up and see if I came around with that third act. So I kind of feel mad at myself. You know what? I might watch it tomorrow before UT kicks that Clemson Tiger ass. So
hell yeah, dude. Orange Bowl sponsored by South Carolina.
Fuck off. All right, let's see here. Let me get the banner. Let me go to my number 19. And Brad, you highlight comments as I'm freaking yapping along here. But nobody does more yapping than our boy Nick Cage. And I'm not talking about Mortal Kombat Nick Cage. I'm talking about freaking Nicolas Cage and the unbearable weight of the mass talent. Man, I just remember how excited Brad got for this movie. So, I'm not the biggest Nicolas Cage fan, but I'll just freaking watch this. And the first thing I just noticed about this movie, if you are a big Nicolas Cage fan, like my buddy Brad over here is, you are absolutely going to love this movie. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Nick Cage, but I respect for all of the work he's done and just so many of his movie references that he has done. And plus just his chemistry with, here, let me pull up the actor's name real quick. It's freaking Mando. Pedro Pascal. Dude, their chemistry was fucking excellent in this movie. And to me, that freaking savages this movie alone. If it was not Pedro, it would have not been even in my top 20. So my number 19 is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Dude, that's a good pick, Birdie, man. I like that a lot. Okay, so moving on to 18 for me. Yes, okay. Let me get the poster pulled up. Speaking of,
Well, hold
uh,
on. Wait, oh wait, man, that's not the one. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought Brother Fluff was talking about the Tennessee Volunteers, but he's talking to somebody in the chat. So sorry, sorry, Brother Fluff.
that's okay, man. Speaking
But
of,
we
and I
got
don't.
we do got Destiny in the house. What's going on there, Destiny?
Hello and welcome. I don't see it on the list for the posters we have here. That might be my bad. I don't know if it was initially in my top 20 or not, but and I might be missing it because I'm a dumbass. But my number 18 is going to be Significant Other. It's going to be the other flick that Mikey Monroe was
I
in this year. Straight
almost
to
put that. I almost freaking downloaded that picture.
I'm sorry, Birdie. This one went to Paramount Plus, man. Actually, I give this one a slight edge to the Watcher, man. I just thought it was really cool to see how weird this one got and stuff like that. And I like movies when you just have two characters in it. You know, like this one had really just had two characters, and I guess the Watcher's kind of the same. There wasn't many more than that, but you really get to kind of know the characters, and when shit gets weird, it's like all these twists and turns are happening, and I don't know. It's just there's something about it. Two characters in a remote, kind of desolate area, and weird shit's hitting the fan. I can always get behind that, and that's what this movie provided. And I really enjoyed it, man. It was weird as hell, and it was a surprising flick. I didn't see it coming at all.
Hell yeah. And I watched it just like 3 hours ago. And I really liked it too. Again, Monroe absolutely nailed it in her role. Even though did you recognize the guy in that movie that played Harry?
He looked familiar, dude. Tell me where he was
He was
from, because I know.
The Office season 9.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yes. Actually, we did point that out when we were watching it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
I was
Flop
like,
or
it's
Soup or
with who
whatever his
you
name
were
was.
married to, I would be surprised if she didn't even mention it.
She did. She did 100%.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Because I thought of it too. I was like, oh my goodness. So let's see here. Um, oh wait a minute. Sorry, I'm getting used to all this, like going back to banner and picture stuff. So bear with me. Number 18 for me. So Brad, pull up that comment again. It'll pull up now. Let's see here. Number 18. Brad, I'm going to join you now on this one because this was the one I was moving up a lot. And that's friggin' The Watcher again with Monroe. So hey, nice transition right there. Yeah, dude, she has been absent. Like with, I would believe she's been absent with like movie making in a while, especially in the horror genre. Welcome back. Like, dadgummit, where the hell has she been? I think she is absolutely spectacular in this movie. First off, it's just a nice, simple formula. Weird person stalks girl. Girl moves into new area. It just plays with all this paranoia with kind of like being watched. And that's seriously, that's like a real thing. And the more like you tackle these real issues into a movie, the scarier and the more thrill you're going to have with it. And I had the privilege of watching this in theaters versus like the Shudder app, and it made all the difference in the world. Freaking saying that tone and atmosphere. So if you have not watched Watcher, it is on Shudder right now. I highly, highly recommend watching it.
Definitely, man. Dude, it's the freaking Maika hour right now, man. She's freaking controlling the
Dude,
teams
she's
right
freaking fantastic, man. She really is.
here. She is really good, man. It's good to see her back and stuff. I did have a comment I wanted to hit from Flamethrower. He said, Brett, there's a Nick Cage movie called Raising Arizona that you should check.
Right there. I hate that movie with a passion.
Just going back
Okay,
to
I
Real March
don't hate
Madness
I don't hate the movie. I just hate that it made the final four of that Real March Madness tournament.
I was listening to that not too long ago, and that just was cracking me up. All right. Number 17 for the B man here. This one is going to be, this was a good one, man. This was one I wanted to actually watch ever since it came out. I saw it got good reviews. It was, on Rotten Tomatoes, I was on there, and it was one of those, I was getting some buzz. Didn't get a chance to see it in theater, but then it finally dropped on Netflix a couple weeks ago. Actually, it's probably been about a month or so now. That's Emily the Criminal with Aubrey Plaza. This was one that, I just, it's a story we've seen before. It's about her just kind of falling into the life of being a criminal, essentially, like hence the title, Emily the Criminal. But, again, we've seen the story similar to this in the past several times, lots of times. but it's really elevated by her performance, man. I think she does a really good job, like bringing her character to life. And it's also just really a stress inducing movie. And I like movies like that. It makes you actually feel tense moments. Like, when shit's starting to hit the fan, she gets kind of deeper and deeper into this criminal, element. And it's very stressful. It almost felt like, not quite as stressful, but it almost felt like Uncut Gems and Good Times, or whatever, the one with Robert Pattinson. Yeah, it had that same kind of vibe, and yeah, it was a really good movie, and it was really elevated by Aubrey Plaza's performance, man.
Yeah, and I actually watched that movie for the first time today as well, and I enjoyed it. Aubrey Plaza is always fun to watch, even though just my only thing with this movie, I just didn't think this was supposed to be for Aubrey Plaza. I felt like there was like another different type of actress could have made this movie better. And again, that's not a mark on Aubrey Plaza. Again, I thought she did a really good job. I felt like it just belonged to somebody else in that lead role of the female actress. Just in my opinion, when I saw this, I was like, this ain't what we call Aubrey Plaza's forte.
See, I actually thought it was perfect for her because she's always had that kind of spunky personality, like that kind of like I don't give a fuck personality that you see her have in the off not the Office, but the damn Parks and Rec, and everything else I've seen her in. She's always just been kind of that really sarcastic kind of just, I don't know. So for me, I don't know. I thought she was really good in the role, but I can see what you mean.
Yeah, but I still appreciate you at least bringing that movie up because I actually watched it today because I had a feeling you were wanting to, or you were going to add it to your top 20. So frick yeah, dude. So let's see here. 17. We're at my 17, and my 17 is going to be, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Uncharted. So if you're a fan of PlayStation games, this is a major PlayStation game franchise for the PlayStation and for Sony. And I played all of the Uncharted games except for the last one. I only got to watch the game on YouTube. So I was super excited for this, and I thought they did a really great job. Tom Holland did a great job playing a young Drake, and Mark. I was about to say Mark. Oh, it is Mark Wahlberg. He did a really good job playing by Sonny, and just everything worked in this. Like this was just a little action adventure movie, and I think if they wanted to, and I think it will, because originally this movie did break video game movie records until another movie I'm going to be talking about later broke Uncharted's record, which that's awesome that two video game movies break a record in the same year. That means video game movies are on the upswing of things finally, unlike freaking Mortal Kombat Annihilation, because trust me, that was an annihilation, but not the good kind. So Uncharted is such a fun time, and I do suggest you all give this a watch, and I really hope they come out with multiple movies because I feel like this could be a very fun franchise.
I like it, dude. That's one I didn't even get to see this year, man. Of course, I don't know.
I
I
think
just
it's
felt
on. I think it's on. Oh, it's on Netflix now.
I'll have to check it out, man. Rosie asks if I'm drinking a Moscow Mule. Hell yeah, man! It's New Year's. It's New Year's weekend. I just kicked off my weekend, and so yeah, I'm celebrating that with the mule.
because Brad's the dude, man.
No, I'd be drinking a White Claw if that, or I'm sorry, a White Russian if that were the case. So what are we at? 16 now, Birdie?
We are at 16.
Man, Brett, don't get mad at me here, but number 16 for me, anyway. Don't get mad at me now.
Don't you do it.
Where is this flick, though?
Please tell me I forgot to not add it on here.
Well, okay, number 16 for me. Brett, don't get mad at me. It's going to be Scream 5. It's a flick.
Oh, it's on here.
Okay, cool. I must have looked over it. So yeah, I actually, I like this. I actually like it a lot. It has potential to move up. I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it in a few months. And if I watch it again, maybe I'll like it a little bit more. But the last time I watched it, it went down a little bit for me. I just don't like, I don't know. I didn't really like the killers that much. I didn't really buy the reveal at the end, but I still say this is one of the better Scream movies in the franchise. I still think this is up there at number 3. I think for me, I will definitely revisit this in the upcoming months because Birdie and I are about to tackle the Scream franchise for real this time. We're doing it the real way, the right way. And so, yeah, I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to give it a whirl. I thought it was a really good return. I thought it was a strong, ghost face that I really enjoyed. And yeah, but right now, man, it's a 16. It's a 16.
A 16, that's that still breaks my heart, man. But you know what? I understand that Scream 5 ain't everybody's cup of tea. But man, I love the original. So again, I'll talk about it later. Y'all know that this is going to be in my top 20 for sure. Even top 10, I'll go ahead and spoil that a little bit for you guys here. So let's see here. We are at my number 16. And my number 16 is going to be Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Get out of here.
Dude, no, I kid you not, man. I thought that too. I was bored at midnight. Okay, no. Listen, it was midnight. I was bored out of my mind. I saw some rumblings that people did like this movie, so I'm like, just have it on in the background. I'm going to mess with my phone or work on thumbnails and stuff, Canvas stuff and all that. And just for all of a sudden, it got me glued, man. It freaking it made fun of Disney a lot. So if you're a Disney fan like me, it made a lot of Disney jokes. So it made fun of itself. It broke the fourth wall a lot. And plus, look, you have the animated freaking guy and the actual live action CGI freaking looking one. Oh yeah, the CGI one's Dale and the animated one is Chip, of course. And this is just a freaking fun movie, man. So if you like Disney jokes and all that, and if you just like Chip and Dale's in general, you're really gonna have a fun time with this movie. You won't regret it. It's on Disney Plus.
Hell yeah, dude. I will probably not see it, but maybe.
Yeah, I was like, you're not going to check it out. Shut the hell up.
Good, cool. 15, man, already. Wow. This one, man, this one's been neck and neck with Scream all year long. And again, like I said, Scream could still move up some spots, I think. But I don't know, man. This was one that, again, I had no idea it was coming. I had no idea what it was. This is probably like one of 3 movies our boy Chris told us to watch on a whim. He said, hey, guys, y'all should check this out. And then we did. And I really loved it, man. And that's fresh from Hulu. Again, once again, Hulu, rocking it out of the park. And, man, Daisy Edgar Jones, this is the first time I ever saw her, I think. She was freaking awesome in this movie. But really, Sebastian Stan, too, really stole the show with, everything he had to do. And he had to wear a lot of hats in his role, which I thought was really good. And he was really compelling, man. And in all avenues of his performance, he was so fun and really, really solid. So yeah, this is a fun one. It takes a lot of nice twists and turns too. The whole plot's a whole twist and turn. Fresh is just, an idea, but man, you get in there and you see how fresh things really are. And dude, it just gets crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit going on, and I really dug it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, I freaking love a fresh perspective on things. Especially on an original movie too. Flamethrower says, "Holy shit, White Claws must be pretty strong if this made his top 20." Which Chip and Dale's. I gotta start drinking again, dude. I'm telling you, if you're a Disney fan, like it makes fun of Disney and breaks the fourth wall a lot. So, definitely, it's a movie. Like I challenge people to actually give it a fair chance. And if you don't like it, just blame me.
You know what? It looks like the poster looks like it could be pretty fun.
That's all it is. It's just dumb fun. It really is. So let's see here. My number 15. Alrighty. So let's see here. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, that's a good one too. The reunion show, dude. That was an emotional roller coaster just because of how well that reunion was done. So let's see here. My number 15. It is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And man, just the way they treated Chadwick Boseman's whole ordeal, his death in real life. They literally dedicated the first 5 to 10 minutes of this movie to him. Even the intro, like the Marvel intro, was all dedicated to him. And just how they respect his legacy in this movie was spectacular. The visuals in this movie were spectacular. I thought the characters were really, really strong. And even the villain is badass too, of Namar. And just Dude, sorry. I just keep on thinking of Chadwick. He's my dude. I just wish he was still with us, man. Really do. But everybody did a great job. But you could just tell that Chadwick was missing in this movie because this was his particular, I would say, a mini franchise within a whole big franchise of Marvel. This was just his. He's the only one that could play Black Panther, even though everybody else did a good job. So my number 15 is Wakanda Forever.
That's cool, man. That's the one Marvel movie I was actually kind of looking forward to this year. Didn't get a chance to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but once it hits Disney Plus, I don't think it's on there yet.
No,
I'm gonna
not
check it
yet.
out. For sure, man. I saw the other ones, Doctor Strange, Thunderbird, whatever. Neither one of those are going to be on my top 20. Just FYI.
Thunder and love. Shut up.
You know what? Thunders and birds go together like Peter and LaFleur. So.
Let's get you to 14.
Number 14, man. Let me tell you what, man. Let me tell you what about number 14, man. I've been talking about this a lot lately, and I'm going to talk about it some more. It's fall, man. This one was a huge surprise. Again, this was one, and I got to say, too, that these top 14 are really fucking strong. Like the rest of these movies here on out, man. This is probably the toughest, the toughest top 15 I've had since before the pandemic, before COVID. I mean, we're really hitting our stride now. We're getting back into the full swing of things. But yeah, man, this one came out. I remember seeing the trailer. Like I said the other day, I said, man, this movie's going to suck. You can't just have a movie about people on the tower. Yeah, you can. And this is the most like freaking scary movie I saw all year. If you ask me, this is the one movie in recent memory that I actually made me perspire and actually made me like scared, like actually scared. Because, man, I hate heights. I don't like them at all. And this movie actually made me think that I was up. If this was a VR movie, like I know we're not at that stage yet, really, but if this movie was in VR, I wouldn't be alive anymore. That's 100% accurate because I would have died. And yeah, man, it was a great time, man. If you guys haven't seen it, if you guys want to sweat a little bit, you guys want to freak out and get scared, this is where you do it, man, especially if you're afraid of heights. This really shits on any Ferris wheel that I've ever been on.
Well, I'll tell you this: you'll be like freaking Ruth and significant other going.
Exactly. That would have been me. I've done VR once. I did the rock climbing. This would have been worse.
Oh gosh. And then let's see here. I want to get these two particular comments real quick. First off, it's just this is a funny one. Brett keeps saying Chippendales plural. So is he talking about the Oh my god! Yes, I'm talking about Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze.
That's what I was about to say. Is Chris Farley, dude?
Oh yeah, and then Erica just wanted to say hi guys. I'll drop in to say hey and bye. I hope you both have a happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Erica. Thank you so much for dropping by.
And welcome.
Yes. So let's see here. My number 14. Oh, I just watched this. I shared this movie with my mom yesterday. She rented it for us, so I was happy that she did. And Brad, I'm still waiting on you to watch it. I can't wait for you to get a chance to see it. And that's or more importantly, Violent Night. And man, what a violent night this movie was. This is just a fun Santa Claus being an action star and kicking ass and taking names and taking people off the naughty list permanently. But man, David Harbour, Hopper from Stranger Things. He plays our freaking Santa. He was absolutely he fits the role of a Santa so damn perfectly, just with freaking attitude. And he has good jokes along the way. We have good side characters like the little girl that play. It's Trudy is her name, the character's name, and she did a really good job playing like the sweet little innocent girl and all that, like relying on Santa to save the day. So this is just so much fun, really awesome action sequences and kills, brutal damn kills. So Brad, I can't wait for you to watch this, and if you guys have not watched this, I cannot wait for you all to watch this. And this is going to be a Christmas tradition starting next year.
Yeah, dude, this is one that I really wanted to check out, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't get a chance to before we did the video here because I do think just from the trailer and everything, and from what we've seen from these guys before, this production company with Nobody and Bullet Train and things like that, I think I really would have dug this. But nonetheless, I will see it as soon as I can, and yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think about it.
Sorry, I gotta put this down. Sorry, I had to put that down real quick because Destiny was saying yummy.
Oh, it's yeah, yummy, delicious.
David Harbour. And Blever Fluff say he's got to do some work stuff. Good night, everyone. Good night, Blever Fluff. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hopping in, man. We had a fun time tonight with you. Brett, don't get mad at me here at number 3, okay?
Oh my god, you already made me mad already, and I don't trust me. The worst is yet to come. I already know. So,
this is man, it's X. This is one that again, I'm telling you, this top 13 is strong as a mofo because this is a really sound movie. You guys saw our review when it first came out. I still feel really good about this movie. I was pumped then. I'm still pumped. I'm just instead of a 4.5, I'm probably at a 4, which is still pretty freaking awesome. What gets me with this movie is at the end of the day, it's still a slasher movie. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And I don't know. Maybe a slasher can only be so good. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I love the first half of the movie. I love getting to know the characters. I actually still love all the characters in this movie. But the third act for me just drags, man. It just slows down. Once Pearl kills our boy by the van, that scene is awesome. But then it just feels like it takes forever to get to the end part, dude. I feel like there's a lot of running back and forth, a lot of stuff like let's go out in the pond and look for shit, and let's go over here and do this. Let's fuck on the bed with Mia Goth underneath it with old people, like, and all that stuff. Just like it slows things down just enough to I don't know. I don't know. I kind of always lose a little bit of interest in that third act, but the rest of it I really love, man. I thought the characters were great, a lot of fun, and still a really sound and strong movie. Oh, movie ranker comes in, man, saying he put it at 25.
I'm going to hurt people and hurt people permanently. So there we go. Destiny's got my back too at my number 1. Will it be my number 1? Time will tell.
I bet.
So let's. Oh, you think so?
Actually, no. I think I might know what your number 1 is.
I think you have a pretty good idea too. And I'm pretty sure my idea is the same thing as your idea. So let's freaking keep moving on here. At my number 13, and my number 13 is possibly one of the funnest movies I've had the joy of seeing this in theater. And because I'm just a big fan, and everybody can think of one game in general when I mention the word Sega, and that is Sonic 2. Because, oh man, but dude, this movie
it's funny because
oh, hell yeah. Let's go, man. Dude, this movie is so much freaking fun, especially after the success of the first movie and how this movie broke all the records that Uncharted set it early in February because this movie came out in April during my birthday month. So I treated it like a big birthday ordeal. Got a free popcorn, free drink because it was my birthday. And dude, I had such a damn fuck you, Chris. Right there. So it was just so much damn fun, man. Jim Carrey is freaking at again. That's Dr. Robotnik, freaking just allowed to be his charismatic self. And it's just we get the addition of Knuckles and Tails, and they were great characters in this too. And just a freaking fun adventure, man, for the whole family to enjoy. And I am so looking forward. It's not coming out in 2023. It is coming out in 2024, Sonic 3. That is very high on my anticipated list. But number 13 is Sonic 2.
Dude, I still need to see both of those movies, man.
Dude, they're on Paramount Plus. You won't regret it.
I think I could get behind it, man. I love Jim Carrey, man. I'm sad to see him retire.
Oh, dude, he's freaking the most Jim Carrey since ever.
That's good to hear, man. What are we? Number 12 now. Man, back in March, if you would have told me that there would be a better slasher in the year than X was, I would have said you're smoking some serious shit. But here we go, man. Here it happens. It came out of nowhere. Well, not really, but for me it did because I didn't really like the first one. Terrifier 2 comes in at number 12 today, and this man, this shit was fantastic, man. I just had such a good time with it, and I wanted to put it higher, but again, this is a really tough top 10, and it barely missed out on it. But I really enjoyed Art the Clown in this thing. All the kills, we're still talking about a really, really low budget. We're talking less than Halloween budget, and that's with inflation, like, you know, without inflation even being brought up in that sentence. Dude, I get a lot of effort went into this thing, man, and I love seeing that. Chris Jericho's in here, that freaking sexy son of a bitch. He's in here
Yay!
doing shit. Yeah, doing his Fozzy shit, doing all kinds of cool stuff. And I just thought the kills were so much fun, dude. Like every time there's kills, it's crazy ass shit going on, but it's also making you chuckle. It's a good balance. I think Art was great. He was fantastic. The eye movements, the smiles, all that creepy stuff was nuts, man. And I really liked the final girl in Sienna too. I thought she really shined in this thing. Made a good. You can see her in the poster there with her Pegasus wings and stuff. Just getting ready to kick a little bit of ass, dude. It was a fun time, man.
Hell yeah, man. I just love how much you love Terrifier 2 because I was not expecting you to love this movie at all. And I'm just glad you did.
Yeah, man. I want to get the Blu-ray. I want to freaking have a party with it.
Oh, man. Dude, get the 4K. The 4Ks have been selling like crazy lately. Miss Carter, what's going on?
Oh, hello and welcome, man. Good to see you.
House. Yeah, it's always great to see Miss Carter here in the chat. So let's see here, along with everybody else too. So let's see here, number 12. Let's see here. Okay, we're at the point now where 12 through 1 are 4.5s to 5-star movies for me. So these are like my top of the top of my 2022s. Mel, watch it immediately. So let's see here. My number 12, and this is the one that's winning the poll right now, Brad. If you believe it or not, it's Prey.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, I'm in. Sorry.
Not that
dear Predator franchise, thank you so freaking much. On bringing the Predator franchise back in its purity and simplicity with Prey. I'm in. So, man, thank you, Prey, for welcome back, Predator franchise. This is how you freaking do a Predator movie. You get your main badass character, you get a badass Predator, you build up the anticipation of their final conflict, and the third act, let them freaking go at it. It has everything you want in a Predator movie. And Brad, I know you're going to talk about this one some more, so I'll leave all the good stuff to you. I just wanted to throw this out there for my peer entertainment. My number 12 is freaking Prey, man, with my girl, Amber Thunderbird. No, I'm just kidding. It's Mid Thunder, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I can't. Dude, I hope this wins the poll, man. That's going to be such a good. Dude, I love that movie, man.
So far.
I'd love to see it. Yeah. So yeah, keep voting for that, people. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What are we? Number 11, dude. Almost in the top 10. This is the first one out, and I actually was really hoping this would crank in the top 10. I just don't think I can put it there right now. But it's still one of them.
First off, Desi needs to watch Prey. Chris needs to watch Prey. What the hell? Okay, you know what? That's going to be fine because I'm letting you know now. Out of 21 votes, 43% is going to Prey, and I'm pretty sure that one's going to win. So y'all get to do a watch party with us at the end of the month. Save Prey for when we do the watch party because we want to hear your all's reactions.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be so much fun, man. I can't wait. I'm really, really stoked for that. Yeah. So number 11. This is one of my most. This was a really fun and enjoyable experience for me, man. And it was finally good to see my boy, the legend, the GOAT, the best of all time, the greatest, coming back into his prime form. That is that of Nicolas Cage coming back in unbearable weight of massive talent. Dude, he's the GOAT. And he actually came back and he was Nick Cage again. Now he's done some good stuff lately. You know, he did Mandy. He did the llama movie or the alpaca movie where they were the color out of space. That shit got weird as
what?
No. I'm talking about color out of space when he feeds.
Okay. Or llamas.
Yeah. Yes. No, they're alpacas. And then 15. He did also do Pig, which was really good. But this is actually classic Nick Cage coming back. And like you said, Pedro Pascal was actually the highlight in this movie. I thought the two really, like you said, had really good chemistry as this kind of buddies. Going on this adventure and shit. And it was just so meta and weird and awesome at the same time. Obviously it wasn't great from an action standpoint. It tried to be at the end, but really it was just comedic, man. It was fun. We had a good time with it. And it's one that I'm going to continue to watch. I just thought it was a great time. So yeah, maybe could have squeezed in the top 10, but for right now it's at 11, man.
Oh yeah, and I'm surprised this wasn't in your top 10 with as fan of a Nick Cage fan you are. So that actually surprises me,
dude. It's been there all year, man. That's all I gotta say. We'll find out why it cranked out here soon, but yeah.
Yeah, I want to address this too. I just watched Glass Onion. Destiny, stay tuned. Just that's all I gotta say. So let's see here. Da, 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 da. All right, just want to make sure the comments here. So we're at my number 11, and my number 11 is going to be. See here. Let's go back to the Marvel world real quick, and that's going to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I was extremely nervous about this movie until Sam Raimi was behind it. They make him the director. And you know what? All is good in the world because this pretty much combined all your Marvel goodness with kind of like your Evil Dead goodness too, with how dark it gets at times. And certain, especially towards the end, you'll definitely see some Evil Dead stuff in it. But what really makes this movie for me is Elizabeth Olsen's performance as the Scarlet Witch, one of the absolute best performances in Marvel to date. You freaking thought Robbie Downey Jr. as Iron Man was freaking fantastic, and Thanos being fantastic. You got to include the Scarlet Witch and Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, she freaking nailed it out of the park, or knocked it out of the park. Not nailed it out of the park. You can't do that. But what Elizabeth Olsen can do is bring on a great performance. Definitely one of my all-time favorite performances that the MCU has done with a particular character, and that's all thanks to Sam Raimi and how he knows how to develop characters in the movie. So my number 11 is indeed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was fun, man. That was definitely probably my favorite Marvel movie of the year, for sure, man. I couldn't really.
I understand too that Phase 4 has definitely been the weakest, so I totally understand that.
Yeah, but you know, like you said, Elizabeth Olsen was she was great in that, man. She was freaking
Phenomenal.
Intimidating. Yeah, like everything about it, man. Oh, dude, we're in the top 10. We're in the top 10, man. This is what I've been thinking about all years.
We entered the top 10. Real quickly, what's your worst movie of 2022?
Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. Oh, I don't have to scroll and look. I talked about this
we're building up the anticipation.
Dude, it's Moonfall, man. It's Moonfall all day. I thought that was the biggest disaster, man. It was so bad. Like I don't know why. You had a good cast. You had Patrick Wilson. You had Halle Berry. You had Sam from Game of Thrones. I thought it was gonna be at least watchable. That Michael Pena was in this thing. But dude, we get in this thing. It was freaking dreadful, man. Like horrible effects, stupid ass story about the moon being a fucking robot or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what the fuck was going on at the end. It was so stupid. Yeah, to me, it was the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. Now, I'll give you a bonus round though. I'll say my worst horror movie of the year was Texas Chainsaw 2022. I thought that was a fucking dog shit from a horse's ass if I've ever seen it, man.
Okay, well, I'll jump on you with that side quest real quick. My worst horror movie is The Requiem, which is the shark movie with Alicia Silverstone. Man, that movie I've never felt so bad for an actress than I did in this movie with Alicia Silverstone, because you could just tell she was trying her best to put this movie over. It just did not work. It was so damn bad. Like, this movie makes Jaws the Revenge look good. That's how bad The Requiem is. So that's my worst horror movie of the year. My worst non-horror movie of the year is easily going to Morbius. And I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I was jacked up for this movie. What the hell kind of CGI face did they do with this? This was a big CGI shit show. Like, me and Brad can be a lot better on Filmora, freaking doing the effects of this movie than whoever they hired to do this. So Sony, get your game together, because I am now more terrified to see Craven because they're going to be using the same thing with Morbius and it's in Craven. So I am freaking so scared right now. So that's my worst non-horror movie of the year is Morbius, which technically is a horror movie with how bad it is.
Yeah, dude. And that I mean, to my credit, to a point I should make, I guess, like, I know a lot of people probably like Texas Chainsaw. Some people might even like Moonfall. And yes, Gory, the moon was a damn robot. Check it out. It was definitely, it was weird like that. But I try my best to avoid bad movies. If there's a movie that comes out and everybody's like, this movie sucks ass, I'm not going to watch it. So I don't want to waste my time with that. So, and like Dashcam, I saw Rosie a second ago. That was a good example. Like a lot of bad, like, I'm just not going to waste my time with that. So yeah, if I can have my worst movie,
Oh my God, Brad, Chris, y'all gotta go see Crimes of the Future. I thought that was very good. Me and Chris watching Crimes of the Future.
I wanted y'all to see that guy that had the ears on his body. His whole body was just nothing but ears, man. That's what I wanted y'all to
Well,
see.
if all you wanted me to do was watch that, why not just send a freaking picture versus us paying $20 at the theater?
Well, you can't take
That
a
was the
picture
worst
of
$20
the
I've ever spent.
Birdie. That's illegal as a mofo, dude. You know what? The movie was
I
created
said
though.
picture.
Like,
You're not recording it.
we're acting like it's still illegal. We're talking about something that was original though. We had you got to say at the very least that's
Originally
an original
painful.
movie. And Leia Sado was in there.
Sure. Yeah. And she, of course, she was nice. So,
Yes,
there's
best part.
that. Yeah. Well, two best parts with her. But, anyways, let's go to our top 10.
You talked about this earlier, man. This is one I see why you dropped it. Because it is kind of like once you watch it, it's not really the most rewatchable flick of the bunch, but it is absolutely fantastic. I think it's the Northman, from the Northman, if you will, from Robert Eggers, man. I thought Alexander Skarsgård actually was freaking pretty badass in this thing. This is a passion project for him, one that he worked on for a while with Robert Eggers to get it up and running. And Anya Taylor-Joy, again, as always, was freaking awesome, badass in this thing as well. Nice performances on the side from Nicole Kidman and Ethan Hawke as well. Willem Dafoe, really good cast all around. And they all came in, they did their thing, man. And I just, again, some of the best cinematography of the year I think you'll find in this movie. And yeah, I get it. It is slow. It's a slow kind of long movie. Really, for what this movie is, it very much is. It focuses kind of more on the character than anything. And he's not the most likable guy in the world, so I could see why that would slide down your list. But it's a cool world. The world building that was done by Robert Eggers is awesome as always. And it's just cool to just kind of step into this land of the Vikings for a little bit and just take that ride. So yeah, man, it's number 10. It's in the top 10. And this one I wanted to rewatch before we did the list, but I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, and I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as me and Chris did. Like, even I don't think our boy Chris didn't like it, or he still liked it, but he didn't like it as much as like you did. Kind of like joining my particular department on that. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a ride, man.
Yeah, and then Rosie said, "I enjoy worst lists more than I do best, the best of." So you know what, Rosie? If we get time, we'll freaking record a top 5 or top 10 worst movies of 2022.
Wouldn't be opposed to that, man. I think those are fun to make too.
Well, I think that could be very entertaining, especially if we get open up a couple of cold ones. So let's see here. Yeah, just as mad as Bodies made me. Yeah, that movie made me mad too. Trust me. So it made me mad too. So let's go ahead and go to my number 10 as well. So let's see here. Number 10. Oh, Brad, if you want to freaking hold up your shirt real quick. Yeah, actually, that's what's on his shirt, ladies and gentlemen. So my number 10 is The Black Phone. Unfortunately, this movie has gone down a couple of spots, but again, 2022 has been a damn good year for movies. So for this movie at least being a top 10, it's still a high compliment for me. And Ethan Hawke as the grabber, I mean, come on. Ethan Hawke is a terrific actor, but I've always wanted to see him play a villain. And dude, he just freaking took that villain role and just set a whole standard of what it takes to be an iconic villain in the horror genre. And of course, I thought he would be the standout, but I thought the freaking children actors were the standout in this movie, especially from Gwen, who was played by Madeline McGraw. I thought she was easily a big standout in this movie. I think she has a bright future. Scott Derrickson did a great job directing this movie, putting more light in it. So thank you very much. The Black Phone, it still has its dark tone atmosphere, and you just have a really good time with it. You cheer on for Finn, you want him to be okay. So my number 10 is The Black Phone.
It's a good pick, man. Honestly, just keep the picture up, man, because that's my number 9 actually. That cracked into the top 10, of course. It's one, man. A lot of hype earlier in the year for this movie. I remember it was supposed to come out in January initially. They pushed it back at 100 on the RT for a while. Before it dropped. And yeah, man, I saw it. And like you said everything perfectly. Ethan Hawke, Madeline McGraw, all those people are fantastic. I love the eerie tone this thing has, the creepy music, the score, the opening credits is really awesome. How just kind of spooky this whole thing is, and the sense of dread this town's feeling early in the movie, that tension and all that stuff is really nice. But yeah, I think it's a classic movie. It's definitely one I'm going to continue to watch. I think it's fantastic, man.
Oh, dude, it
And
really
also,
is.
I will
And
point
even
out if
Cold
you haven't
enjoyed
seen
it.
it, the board's got a very important message for you back here. If you guys can read it, I don't know if you can or not, but
Here, let me
it's there.
see. The grabber is going to get your ass.
Hell yeah. So hashtag grabber get your ass. So let's see here. And
yeah, great
Rosie
flick though,
says,
man.
"Cool, thanks. Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely add that to our to-do list." So let's see here. Let's go ahead and go to my number 9. Let's get the black phone down, and let's put freaking. Let's see here. Number 9. Okay, just want to make sure if I didn't change anything again. And Destiny brought this one up. I'm going to bring it up now, too. It is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. And, dude, what a freaking mystery this movie was with how the hell did they almost top the first movie. I almost enjoyed this movie just as much as the first one. Just the little edge I get it, like the difference. I enjoyed the cast in the first one versus this one. But don't get me wrong, the cast in Glass Onion was absolutely spectacular. They nailed the roles they were given, like, hey, play this certain character in your own unique way. And dude, they freaking ran with it. The mystery was fantastic. And this was, I believe, Brad, a 2-hour, 10-minute movie, right?
Yeah, it was just over a couple hours.
Yeah, just like 2 hours. But man, the freaking, if once you get involved into this mystery trying to figure out things, the movie like flies by so damn good. So I easily suggest you all watching this movie on Netflix. And dadgummit, we got to quit letting these particular movies not get to see the light of day at the theater. This only had a 1-day theater release, and that's bullshit. This should have had a full theater release because this movie could have made a lot of damn money. So my number 9 is Glass Onion.
I agree, man. I mean, it was cool that it was cool that it came to Netflix as early as it did, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to watch it. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I'm just sick and tired of it. But it's also good too if you ever just stay home. But man, I'm just sick of it.
All right, here we go, man. We're cranking into the top 8 here, man. That's 4 and 4, man. That's all that's left. Number 8 for me, man. We've talked about it a few times. It was in the poll tonight. It's one that Birdie and I are split on. It's one that I enjoyed a lot this year. That's Barbarian, man. Again, I think this could have been a little bit higher. I don't know. I need to watch it again, and I plan on doing that. But it's definitely one of my favorite horror movies of the last few years because it's so creative and different, you know? And again, we're always asking for these original horror movies. Well, here you go. Here's one knocking at your door. It's ready to be accepted into your community. It's one that starts off very traditional, but done really well, and then takes a turn about halfway through and goes bunch of different directions and brings in new characters and does a lot of fun stuff that you will not see coming if you go in blind as a mofo like your boy Brad did, and a lot of people have done. So yeah, it's definitely good. It had a really good, I thought, main character. Bill Skarsgård's in this one. He actually gives us another good performance, Pennywise style, and he was really good in this movie as well. But it's creepy, man. But it's got some good comedic bits to it as well, and it's one that's going to have you asking yourself, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Dude, it definitely asks you that, especially when you see our buddy Chris. This is his words, okay? His favorite pair that he's seeing in 2022.
It's his
Let's see here,
ranking, man.
Mel. That's his rank. That's his personal ranking. Let's see here. Mel says, "I just watched Barbarian the other night. What a nice surprise and original idea. I wish I would have seen it in theater."
Yeah, I do too, man. I didn't get to see it until it came out. I think on HBO, wherever it is. It would have been a cool theater watch for sure.
Yeah, and I got a chance to see it at the theater. And I'm sorry, guys, it didn't make my top 20. It's just that whole second act did absolutely nothing for me.
Oh, no, Birdie.
I know. So let's see here. Let's go to my number 8 here. Okay, Brett, I'll help you out with this one. This is where you're supposed to put a Scream movie in the top 10. So my number 8 is Scream 5. And again, I love Scream 5. Just out of the movies in front of it are just to me better. But if this, let's say if Scream released in 2021 or 2020, it would easily be number 1 for me. Easily, hands down. Again, great year for movies in general in 2022. But every time I rewatch this movie, it just gets better and better. And I'll explain more why I love Scream 5 when we get to the Scream review series for when we do our live interactive review for Scream 5. So I'll just say most of my majority thoughts on that. But just overall, I love the new characters. I love how they make Ghostface actually scary for once. And that makes legit puts a smile on my face because everybody doesn't treat Ghostface that seriously because he's supposed, oh, the dumb clumsy idiot. But no, like he's a freaking scary badass in this one. So my number 8 is Scream 5, or as some people call it, 5 Cream.
And that makes me want ice cream. But you know what? That's a good point about the movie. That's one thing I really liked about it is the fact that Ghostface was scary in this one again. He or she was a beast. Actually, really intimidating the way that they were put on camera and stuff, and whatnot. And I liked that. That opening was really intense with Jenna Ortega and stuff. So I really liked it for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, such a great opening. Yeah, man. Like hell, man. I wish it could go higher, but I just can't.
I was surprised it wasn't in your top 5. I'll be honest with you. Speaking of top 7, we got one here that again, me and Bert are a little divisive on, and as was a lot of people on TikTok.
Don't you fucking do it.
It's Elvis, man. This movie came out. I went in theaters. Listen, I'm an Elvis fan. I've always been an Elvis fan. I've always enjoyed it. That's my go-to around Christmas time. That's my favorite album for Christmas. And all of his other music rocks too. He's a generational star, man. He's absolutely fantastic. But this thing came out. I watched it. Actually, it took me a while to watch it because Bert told me it sucked ass. But I went ahead and I watched it.
I didn't say it sucked ass. Don't put words in my mouth. I just felt like it could have easily been a lot better if they trimmed 30 minutes off because it was a long movie. Okay, it's not my topic, so I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah, no, it was long, but we are talking Elvis here. We're talking about the story of the greatest musician of all time, arguably. Generational talent. And I was in there with 2 old ladies, man, and it was just the 3 of us in the theater, and they were bawling at the end, dude. And I was right there with them. This thing was good. It was really what I really liked about it is it was obviously not 100%, but I thought it was pretty accurate for the most part. It had a lot of good stuff in here. I learned a few things about Elvis. I went home, I checked it out. A lot of it was true, some of it was not. And that that you'll see that in all biopics. But the performance by Aaron Butler here, man, was fantastic. I think he'll be a shoe-in for an Oscar nomination for sure for what he did as a portrayal of Elvis. And this movie had style, man. Just like Elvis, the King himself had style. This movie had style too. So I appreciate it. And I think it's one that obviously his family was really high on. And I think probably he would have been high on too. So it was good, man. Good music, good times. And yeah, man, it was a really strong flick. That one I've seen a couple times this year, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I liked it, but it easily could have been better for me. And it definitely was the most controversial video that I personally released on my TikTok all year. So if you want to check out my TikTok and read the comment section, oh boy, I pissed some people off.
That shit cracked me up though.
Like Brad was freaking like, oh my God, that's just fun, man. But you know what? That's why I love different opinions, just so we get those different point of views on everything. So let's see about my number 7 here, Brad. My number 7, let's see here. It's going to be Pearl from A24's prequel to X. And man, I didn't know I needed this until after X was over. And when I heard immediately they already made it and it was going to release later on that year, like, holy crap, I was so excited for this. And dude, definitely it's going to be one of the greatest horror prequels of all time. It definitely does the job of a prequel. It takes a character you want to know more about and it gives it right to you. And just is freaking awesome, man. Pearl is such a great character. That again, that 9-minute monologue alone at the end of the movie was absolutely spectacular. Mia Goth, a freaking jewel of 2022 for her performances as Pearl. So my number 7 is Pearl.
That's a good pick, Birdie. Good pick indeed.
Yeah.
Dude, we're almost to the top 5, man. I'm at number 6 here right now. Birdie and I, this is another one that we disagree on. And some people are going to think I'm absolutely crazy, man, for this, but I can't help it. This
Let
is a
me
movie I
leave.
actually really, this is a movie I really, really enjoyed. And that's going to be Halloween Ends, man. I know people are leaving right now. I can see it happening, man. But there's not a movie. If I were to rank my movies based on how many times I've watched them this year, this is number one because it just has something about it that draws me in. It's this really weird, but also really interesting Halloween movie. The weirdest Halloween movie in all of them, save for maybe Halloween 3. But I'm still drawn into it. I'm so drawn into it. I'm digging it. I like the atmosphere in this movie. I like the character of Corey Cunningham. I like the score in this movie, although it's not on paper, it's not as good as Halloween Kills or Halloween 2018. I think it's just as effective with what it's able to do in building atmosphere when they go to the when they now stick around, man. Stick around. When they go to that junkyard, dude, that score that's playing is just freaking awesome. One of my favorite pieces of music in this trilogy, actually. Really good stuff, man. And yeah, dude, there's just something about it that I really love. I think it's the character development that we get for once. It's the new character. I was just thinking about this today, Bertie, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time we've had a new protagonist in the Halloween franchise since what, like Halloween Resurrection, maybe? Like, is that wrong? Is that wrong to say that? Or somebody not related to Laurie Strode, a new main character not related to Laurie Strode at all? I mean, we got that
Yeah.
here. So I thought that, we can get into the details of how much of a protagonist it was, but it was good to see. It was nice to see something different in this franchise that's been so tied to the Laurie Strode character, and do something different and fresh, man. I really dug it. I get the qualms with the end of it. I get that. I see it, but overall, man, I really love this movie and just have a great time with it.
Brad, go home. You're drunk. But man, but again, I do, and I am happy you enjoyed it. I just personally don't. To me, it's not even a Halloween movie. It just is freaking. It's called Halloween, and Michael Myers is on the back front, which that's bullshit. Michael Myers should never be in the back front. But I will admit, Corey Cunningham does make it a good horror movie, so I will give him credit for that.
Hey, Michael Myers wasn't even in Halloween 3.
Well, but it was established, right? He wasn't. You know what? We're not going to get into it. Not today. We do have videos out of why we why we disagree. So we'll let the people watch those past videos, which is in our Halloween playlist. So go stick around for that. Let's see here. My number 6. What do I have for number 6? Oh yeah. You know what, Brad? I'm going to give you a nice, big old, delicious bowl of Art Krispies. How about that? Do you want some more Krispies? Because I want some, along with some mashed potatoes, because my number 6 is Terrifier 2. Man, what a surprise this movie was. I did really enjoy the first Terrifier movie. When I heard about this one being 2.5 hours long, man, I was so damn nervous. Like, man, how are you going to make a slasher movie for 2.5 hours? You do it with a great iconic horror villain and Art the Clown, and you do it with good story, a pretty decent story, but a very good character in Sienna. Great final girl. Man, if you just didn't have those two pieces, or you have one of them missing, this movie would have been a disaster. So those two people alone make this movie work. The kills were so damn brutal that people were legit getting sick at the theater. And guess what? I love it. That means it succeeded for what it wanted to do. I am nervous about Terrifier 3, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to that point. But number 2 or Terrifier 2 is great as it is. It's my number 6.
Yeah, man. Great pick. Great freaking pick, man. It's awesome that it almost cracked into your top 5. It's still a huge surprise for me. Speaking of top 5s, man, you talked about this one, so I'll keep it brief. But this was I'm loving
it. Damn it.
I don't know where it went, but I know it's in here because I just saw it somewhere.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3.
I can tell you one thing: it ain't where it needs to be.
You're counting the th. Don't count the th.
I'm not doing that. I'm looking for Pearl. But Pearl is my number. There. Where did you find that? Where was
Right
that?
where it's supposed to be.
I see in the P's. I only see Prey. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't come in on my end. But either way, Pearl is my number 5. I actually think I really do. I think this is way better than X. Not that X is bad. X is still really good. But I like this one for how character driven it is. I talked about the other day. I thought Mia Goth was outstanding in this. Actually, the best performance of the two movies out, for sure. She really gets to dive deep into that character of Pearl. And I actually think it's one of the best horror prequels or any prequel of all time, honestly, because again, it was filmed at the same time as X, so it has that benefit, but it also it just makes X a better movie. It doesn't get in the way of X. It doesn't come in and try to give us, fan service or, try to be X or anything. It's a completely different movie, but it adds to X. It builds onto the characters in X. It makes X better. It makes the themes of X better. It makes everything about X better. So that's what a prequel needs to do. That's what this prequel does, but it also happens to be better than the original movie, in my opinion. And yeah, it's awesome. Again, I think you could see Oscar nominations out of this movie. I really do. I don't know if you will, but I think you can. I think it definitely has the potential for that.
Yeah, because they hate what we call the horror genre. And I just realized too freaking Brad, behind freaking Pearl there is an X. I just now realized that.
Oh yeah, and they had that in the movie too when she was standing on the X before she did the audition.
I just thought that
yeah.
was a barn. I'm like, oh, that's the barn, but no, it's a freaking X too. So hell yeah, man. So let's see here. That's your number 5. So let's freaking go to my number 5, and that is going to be the movie that I am patiently waiting for Brad and our buddy Chris to see, and that is The Menu. And why is this movie not getting mentioned enough? That's freaking frustrating to me, just because this movie is so damn good. It is a dark comedy, but it does it really right. Like the jokes land for me, and I know a lot of people are not a big food critic or a big foodie person, but for somewhat casually like me, they explained it very well, and they're making fun of it. Like they make it really easy for you, like to kind of figure out what's going on and everything. And Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes and Nicholas Hoult were all great in this movie. They do a very good job, and you're definitely interested in the story that it's telling. So this one to me is the one that is not getting mentioned more than it actually should. And I guess that's because it's like it came out in November, right before Thanksgiving and all that. So it probably just got pushed to the side, which is unfortunate for me, because this movie definitely needs more recognition. And that is why it is at my number 5.
That's the thing for me, man. I just never really got a chance with this movie, man. I haven't got to see it, but it is coming to HBO. I think you said next week, Brett. So I'm going to check
That's
it out.
from
then.
what I understood. It's coming next week, so I'm excited for you and Chris to watch it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, because I do actually, from everything I've seen from the trailer, this definitely has potential to be the best. Not the best, but the 10.
If it will have to
in my top 10.
redo this whole video or live stream over again, and it's going to be a
I know.
bitch.
A biatch. Number 4, man. We're getting. Oh man, these last 4 are tough. This movie was at 3 for 99% of the year until this week, when I saw something specific. But this movie is one that I absolutely loved. You talked about it earlier, Bertie. And that is Prey on Hulu. This was my top horror movie of the year. And again, man, you said it. Simple formula to make a good Predator movie. Antiquated weapons versus a futuristic predator from alien space. From outer space, a futuristic alien from outer space. And you have something special, and that's what we get in this movie. But we also get character in this movie. That's something the first movie never really had. As fun as Dutch was, and as fun as Arnold was in that movie, that movie wasn't about characters. This movie is. And you get character development. You get all that fun stuff with Naru from Amber Midthunder. And that's what makes this story compelling. It's about the story. It's about the growth. It's about all that stuff. And on top of that, the cinematography is outstanding. Again, some of the best horror cinematography you'll see this year. Original score is outstanding. Some really good action sequences in this thing. Really, really, really good action sequences, really. So check it out if you haven't. But it looks like we'll be doing a watch party for that here in a few weeks. So really stoked about it, and it's
Yeah.
going to be awesome.
In
Man.
the scroll bottom there, it'll tell you when Flicks with the Fellas is, so you'll know when that's coming. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down that poll. It hasn't really moved much. 45% out, 22 votes. It's going to be Prey. So a Prey watch party is coming for late January.
Hell to the yeah, man! I can't wait for that.
Dude, that's going to be so much fun. And then just want to brought up, yes, Smudge, you are absolutely correct. Terrifier is not the first movie with Art the Clown. It's technically All Hallows Eve. So you are absolutely right about that. But Terrifier is the first, like, full feature movie with just Art the Clown as the main star versus it sharing the spotlight with other stories, because All Hallows Eve is like an anthology movie. So they did the popular thing, took the most popular thing from an anthology and put it in its own movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And real quickly too, because I know some people are going to be questioning this as well. So that's why I wanted to wait till I pull up Chris's comment. It's number 4, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Brad, I'm not sure if it's in your top 3, so I apologize with my statement if it is. This is just one I have not gotten a chance to see. I heard it's absolutely fantastic and one of the highest movie like money-making movies A24 has produced yet. I hope to freaking change that and watch that soon. And then again, we could do this whole top 20 all over again. So just want to let everybody know why it's not on my list is because I have not seen it yet.
I'll be honest with you, man. I thought it was a good flick, but it's not in my top 20.
Okay, I didn't want to speak for you, but
yeah, it was one that it did have Mr. Jones Cover Your Heart guy that came back, which I'm pretty sure that was him anyway. So that was really cool. And I thought Jamie Lee Curtis in this thing was absolutely fantastic too. Hilarious. And a lot of the comedy was really good. After I watched it, I never really thought about it again. It didn't stick with me, man. I don't know, man. There's just something about it. I just never really had any interest in rewatching it. And I probably won't ever rewatch it. But when I was watching, I was into it. There's some weird shit with hot dog fingers that I got a kick out of. But yeah,
I gotta watch it. Because I love hot dogs.
It's definitely worth a watch. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's still a really good movie, and I could see it sweeping some Oscars this year. But I don't know, man. I just haven't been interested in revisiting it, and I just don't think I'm going to.
Gotcha. And what's going on, Jake Burnett? Saying everything, everywhere, all at once is his number 1. Again, great pick as well. And Chris also say it held number 1 for me for most of the year. So yeah, again, a lot of love for that movie. I just want to address why it's not on our top 20 for that reason. So let's see here. Let's go to my number 4, and that is going to be. Here we go. Top 4 time, man. And let's see here. I wouldn't say this will piss Brad off, but it possibly won't make him happy. And that's the Batman.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. First off, easily one of my top 3 favorite Batman movies, and I've been patiently waiting for this particular Batman movie because it's a more detective-driven Batman, and that's just something we have yet to see in a full-length Batman feature. Matt Reeves did an excellent job with everything in this particular world of Batman that he has created for us. And I think the future is very, very bright for it. I'm looking forward to the second Batman. Hell, even the freaking Penguin's getting his own spinoff. So this movie did something right. Robert Pattinson, great job as Batman. Bruce Wayne, on the other hand, not very strong. Hopefully they fix that little character, Bruce Wayne, in the second one. Just where it gets it for me, for why it's not my favorite of 2022. They could have easily trimmed off like 10 to 20 minutes of this movie, and it would still accomplish everything it needed to accomplish. Again, I don't like long movies unless if I'm very interested, which I was in this, but this movie still could have benefited from shaving like 10 to 20 minutes off and still be the exact same thing. But I absolutely love this Batman. I love seeing the world's greatest detective be the world's greatest detective. So my number 4 is the Batman.
Hells to the birdie. Time for number 3, man. We are up here in the top 3 out of 20 of 2022, and that's big. That's huge. That's big time. What's it going to be for the B-Man? Well, I'm about to tell you what it's going to be. That's going to be Glass Onion and Knives Out mystery.
Hell yeah.
I actually like this more than the first one. I thought the cast was better. It was more enjoyable. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, Daniel Craig was outstanding as what's his name in the movie. I had no idea. I watched the trailer one time. What is his name? Mr. Blanc or something? I can't remember. He's becoming an iconic
Blanc
character.
Benoit.
Yes, that's it. He's becoming an iconic character in these two movies, man. Like absolutely iconic. But dude, I didn't even know. Like, I watched the trailer once, and then that was a long time ago. I didn't even know Edward Norton was in this thing. He came in here. Ethan Hawke randomly. That was badass. That was really cool. But man, you're talking freaking Kate Hudson coming back, being freaking badass. Batista was great in this movie. The main actress here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look it up. I should have had that.
I know. I know her. I just know her as a freaking the villain in WandaVision.
Yes, not Whiskey, not
No, not Whiskey, even though Whiskey was pretty fine.
Janelle Monáe. Dude,
Yes.
She was absolutely fantastic. I thought this thing, and it was so much fun, dude. This movie was such a blast. It took a lot of turns. I did not know anything really about this movie going in, and for me, it took so many twists and turns throughout. I thought that the ending was a little bit. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. I know it just came out. But the ending to me was a little bit predictable. I will say that, like, as far as the main end piece, but the journey up to that point that had way more twists and turns in it than the first one did, I think. So I really appreciate it for that. And I felt myself glued to the screen. I considered giving it 5 stars, but it's sitting at 4.5 right now. I only gave out 2 5-star movies this year, and we're about to get to those in a minute. But yeah, this one was outstanding. Really good time.
Well, the reason this movie didn't enter my top 3 because it didn't use the line, "I do suspect foul play."
Dude, I was waiting for that, dude.
Me too. I was waiting, and I thought that at one point he was getting ready to say it, like when something happens. I thought he was just going to like do this. I suspect foul play. And he did freaking say it, and that made me so mad because that was my favorite line from the first movie. But dude, I'm glad you really enjoyed this one, and it is at your number 3.
And you can tell when you're watching it, you can tell this is the same director, obviously Rian Johnson, but you can tell it's the same director that did The Last Jedi. You can see that same humor in there. It just works a lot better in this kind of movie than it did in that. But it's a good time, man. Really well made.
Oh, absolutely! It was well made, and I cannot wait for more of them to come on Netflix too, because they already signed off on the third one, greenlit it, so it's happening. So my number 3, we're at the point now where these are golden reels for me, and there were 3 golden reels, so that's a damn good year of movies if you could get 3 golden reels out of me. And so in my opinion, these are well deserved, and this might actually surprise Brad here. But my number 3 to kick it off my golden reels of 2022 is going to be X. Not DX, Brad, just regular X, A24's X. Man, what a surprising slasher movie this is. First off, I thought we were just watching a whole nother like sequel movie of Boogie Nights, but then we get to the killing, and dude, it's just freaking, it's so unique seeing old people kill all just because like she doesn't feel sexy again, and no one wants to give her sexy time. So I support sexy time, man. I support it, damn it. Everybody deserves sexy time. But we also get great characters too, and that's what this movie does better than a lot of other slasher movies. We get every character. We at least has some like kind of like, I want to, it's not influence, but like we invest into those characters. Like every character we invest in at some point. Jenna Ortega was really good in it, even though she didn't have a lot to do with it. But Brittany Snow was the stand down for me. Bobby Lynn, I thought you could just tell she was having an amazing time on set. And then of course we got Martin Henderson playing as Wayne. Like, man, feel how hard my cock is, man. Like, yeah, sexy time. Yeah, hashtag sexy time. But man, this movie is so damn great. It is definitely my number 1 horror movie of 2022. But unfortunately, it is not my top movie of 2022. 2 other movies do it just better than X.
Wait, 2 other movies? I'm surprised. I actually thought this would be your number 2. I think I know what your number 1 is, dude. If it's the mean one, I swear I'm deleting the channel.
No, I wanted to do an honorable mention at least, but it wasn't high enough.
Okay.
It just wasn't strong enough.
Number 2 for me, man. I gotta say, like, I'll just cut to the chase, man. This is my favorite theater experience of all time, hands down, without a question. It's gonna be Top Gun Maverick, man. This is something. This was not on my radar. Well, I wouldn't say it was on my radar for 2022, but I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this was on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022 when we did that at the beginning of the year. I knew it was coming. I've never been a huge Top Gun fan in the original movie. I've always, thought it's a fun time, but it's always been kind of like a 3.5, maybe a 4 for me, just because there wasn't really a plot in the first one. But this thing comes in, man. What they're able to do with the special effects or lack thereof was absolutely outstanding, man. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It was such a good time. Again, I know fall made me perspire. This one made me sweat too. I got done with this movie. I thought I just went off of a ride at Dollywood. That's the kind of the ride I had at this thing. And then I went and saw it in 4DX, which was just a really cool experience. We got moist to that. I gotta say, we got moist. We were watching the movie. They were spraying water on our faces, like it was whenever they take off from the aircraft carriers. We got moist. It was cool. It was a good time. That actually was a ride at Dollywood, pretty much like Thunder Road. If you guys have ever been there, but dude, I gotta tell you, man, just the visuals in this thing, man, the shots they're able to pull off, the actual practical effects they put in to this movie, flying these jets around, getting these things, Tom Cruise up there doing stunts as always, all the other actors that were actually riding around in jets making this shit possible was absolutely solid. And yeah, it was such a good time, man. And this is probably the most rewatchable movie of all time, man, at least of most recent memory, man, because you could put this on at any time.
Dude, absolutely you can. And McGee 202, welcome to Good Will Hunting. So everybody, please make McGee feel welcome.
Yes, welcome to the party. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brad, I am actually surprised this is not your number one, but I have a good feeling what your number one is going to be. And I am so freaking happy that you finally agree with me at what number one should be. And I respect your number one. So, my number... Let's go to let's see here. Well, okay, and let me move from Top Gun Maverick because it is not my number 2. My number 2 is, wait for it, Bullet Train. Oh my gosh, dude. Bullet Train, what possibly is the most surprising movie of this year. I was expecting a fun time. I did have a fun time. But I have the most fun time at the theater this year with this movie. This movie was so damn fun and so damn funny and really good action sequences. And again, you could tell everybody was having a great time in this movie on set. If you have not seen Bullet Train yet, please do it because this movie is so damn entertaining. And me and my buddy Aaron, we have not laughed so hard in the theater in a long time. And it's thanks to this movie. Possibly out all my golden reels, this is the most shocking golden reel I have on my golden reel list of 5 out of 5 movies. Never expected it, but I'm so happy it does. I still need to buy me the 4K because I did promise myself I will buy the 4K of this movie and watch this to death. So my number 2 is Bullet Train.
Man, I tell you, man, I gotta say, if you like this movie, you still may like this one more, but I still think you should definitely watch Nobody.
It's okay, Brad. I'm already keeping this up. So, hold on, give me a minute. Let me put down my number 2. There we go, guys. Brad's number 1 movie is Bullet Train.
No, it is not. It did not make my top 20.
What?
It was good. It was good. It was decent, man. It was a decent flick. I enjoyed it. I like Nobody more. I do like Nobody more. But this one was good.
Rosie, it's so cheesy, but so good.
It is very cheesy. Brad Pitt was nice,
but it's intentionally cheesy. Like it knows what it is, and it just does it 110%. But okay, I'm done.
I gotta say,
I need to know what Brad's number 1.
I think I'll have Lost City over this one.
No, you don't. Shut the hell up. What's your number 1? Because I'm curious now. Because if it wasn't Maverick, I don't know what.
Duh! It's the Batman.
Yeah, let me get the Batman signal.
Dude, this movie was this was my most anticipated movie, and it lived up. So that's kind of, I don't know if this ever happened where my number 1 unanticipated list was the number 1 at the end of the year, but it was this year, man. This was one that this is a movie I've been asking for. This is the one I've been wanting ever since I started playing those Arkham games on the Xbox, with Batman. This movie kind of matched that vibe of Batman, that detective story, man. Batman is dressed up as Batman for 90% of this movie, which is really badass. It's raining the whole time like it is right there in the poster. You can see it there. Feels like Seven. He's out there solving murders and shit. It's crazy stuff. Really dark tone, but my favorite thing about this movie is this atmosphere, man. This freaking Gotham City that they build up, that they put together. This is the best, in my opinion, the best live action Gotham that we've had, for sure. Because it still feels grounded, but not so much that it doesn't feel like Gotham. This feels like Gotham to a T. It feels very real to me at the same time. So I think that's awesome. I thought Robert Pattinson freaking crushed it. Even as Bruce Wayne, I like this early in the career version of Bruce Wayne where he's still a little conflicted. He's still not sure how he can balance Bruce Wayne and Batman and all that stuff. Dude, Colin Farrell, this thing. I mean, let's get real, man. That shit was crazy.
Makeup artist look of the year.
Oh yeah, dude, so good, man. I just love it, man. And the score by Michael Giacchino, whatever his name is, was outstanding as well, man. I thought it was so good, and it's something I've been listening to. Nirvana's in this thing. Dude, it's awesome. I can't get enough of it. This is one I saw in theaters twice and then immediately on HBO when it dropped too. Even though it's 3 hours, I could have done 3 more. I don't care. I was so soaked into this world, living in this world, and I can't wait to see what else they do with this franchise at this point going forward. Really stoked about it. And yeah, man, it's still, when we did our Batman ranking, this was number 1 for me and the Batman franchise, and it still is. It has not dropped at all.
Hell yeah, man. That great number 1, because I remember you pretty much watched this movie at one point religiously, especially the soundtrack, which I totally forgot to mention. The soundtrack was absolutely fantastic, and it might be the best soundtrack of 2022.
Yes, I think so. I think so. And I think, I mean, yeah, it was.
When it comes like to original music and all that, because you kind of say, you can say Top Gun Maverick, but it kind of used the same music as Top Gun, so that wouldn't be fair. So the Batman definitely was.
Yeah, it was so good. So good.
So, all right. So what in the hell can be my number 1? Well, Brad already knows. You want to go ahead and mention it?
Yeah. Tapatikon.
Yeah, it's Top Gun Maverick, guys. Like, holy crap. I liked the first movie. I gave it like a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really damn good. So when they say Top Gun Maverick, man, why like almost 20 years later to make a sequel of this? Nobody really
30.
asked for it. Everybody was just so more puzzled than anything why they waited this long to do this. And you know what? I'm one of those people, I love to be proved wrong. I have never been more proved wrong in my whole entire life with a movie than with this. This is definitely, for me, the greatest sequel of all time. It really is, because it does everything you want in a sequel. Double everything. And this movie doubles everything. And plus, can I just say real quick how beautiful Jennifer Connelly was in this movie?
Always.
She was a
11 out of 10.
Fox. Yeah, she was definitely 11 out of 10 in this movie, and she did a great job as well. But just the story of this movie, man, it's a freaking emotional roller coaster. And you think the ride to Dollywood is with the whole jets and everything, like the jets and everything. It wasn't for me, dude. It was a freaking storytelling, and it was all because of great characters. We got great characters to carry or to fly this great story, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm so jealous you got to see this in 4DX, because if I had to go back in time, I would go see this in 4DX myself. So my number 1 abso-freaking-lutely belongs to Top Gun Maverick. So damn well deserved, and it's actually the movie, in my opinion, that's going to actually save movie theaters.
Here's the question, Birdie. Do you want to be moist? Because if you want to be
I'm
moist,
not moist enough. I gotta get real moist.
If you want to be moist, you gotta see Top Gun in 4DX, man. That's for sure.
You know what? I'll probably go see Avatar, The Way of Water in 4DX. And you talk about freaking getting moist, more like a tsunami.
Oh, dude, they'll be dripping on your ass the whole time, dude. That's gonna be.
I'll wear my
moisture.
bathing suit.
They're gonna run out of water in there.
I'll wear my little Speedo and walk in and goes, 1 ticket, please, for RDX Avatar. And they'll probably tell me to go home and change.
Yeah, I think that McGee 202 said 40x. The smoke was
Oh, sorry.
the smoke was to me the corniest part of that damn thing. That whole experience would just be sitting there, and all of a sudden smoke would be rising from the ground.
We want the smoke.
But that it was cool nonetheless. But yeah, I do agree. I think this is, if it's not one of the best sequels of all time, it is the best sequel of all time. I think it not only does it double everything, it adds a story to it. An already a classic movie. It gives it an actual plot and conflict and stuff like that. And you can just watch this thing, man, on repeat, man. I'm telling you, it doesn't get old. There's nothing about it gets old, man.
And definitely have the best speaker system, because Brayden told a story on his channel that he had or he told me a story how he played Maverick with his new soundbar and it freaking shook his whole damn apartment.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
he said it was great.
It'll do that, man. And what's so cool and fun about it is that, like, yeah, I mean, you can still enjoy it. You can still enjoy it when you're watching it at home. But like you said, this is one that really provides really thrives on that theater experience. You know, this is something that, like, honestly, it became my favorite theater experience of all time. And it's really something
1K.
I'm never going to forget. Yeah.
1K, Rosie, 1K.
You know, if you want to post a Speedo Brett, dude, go back and watch that Halloween 2 skit.
God. Hello, Haddonfield. Oh, man. But, guys, that is our top 20 movies of 2022, combining both the horror genre and non-horror genre. And, man, what a freaking year for movies, man.
Yeah, it was a great year, man. It was the best year since COVID, I think, for sure. Last year we had some bangers in 2021, man. But this top 15, I think they were all 4 stars for me, if I'm not mistaken, and above.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that too, and dude, it's a freaking good year for you, most definitely. But overall, this has been a great year for the channel of Good Will Hunting, and 2023 we are so looking forward to, and to finally hit that 1K, to freaking bring you a screen review series, to bring you a Saw review series, freaking real March Madness, freaking the the real horror award show, and freaking Screen Warriors. Speaking of which, let's freaking announce those real quick, Brad.
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to freaking do? Yeah, I'll let you do the Screen Warrior announcement. That's going to be on January the 20th. And we're
Guys,
working on a thumbnail right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll get to that out soon.
Guys, January the 20th, the Scream Warriors will be making their debut, and we're going to be talking our most anticipated movies of 2023, horror movies. Of course, this is a horror podcast here. Specifically, this segment is. So yeah, we'll be talking our top. Well, it's not a ranking, but we're just going to be talking about our most anticipated movies of 2023. It's going to be awesome. First episode of the Scream Warriors.
Absolutely. And again, that is January the 20th. The schedule could change, so stay tuned to our socials if we have to make that announcement to move the dates. But as of right now, it is going to be January the 20th on a Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and it will be on Good Will Hunting for the first episode.
Yeesh.
Yes. And then also, I'll go ahead and announce the Real Horror Award Show. As we kind of like already did our top 10 movies of the horror genre of 2022, this is pretty much, we're going to recognize a lot of those good movies and what they brought in for 2022 as we do the Real Horror Awards. We have 25 categories, 25 presenters from 25 different YouTube channels. So it's going to be a freaking great time having them present awards and categories. And of course, guys, you all get to decide the winners, because I will be releasing a ballot on Monday. So you all can vote who the Real Horror Award winners are. So pay close attention on Monday for the link so you can cast your votes.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be a sexy good time for sure.
Yeah, it's a dream project, so I'm really looking forward to that, man. So, Brad, anything else you want to address with movies of 2022 or just in 2022 in general before we head to the new year?
No, man, I think so, man. I think we got it all kind of wrapped up at this point, man.
Alrighty, man. So, guys, we're gonna freaking get on out here. But again, we would love to see your top 20, your top 10, top 5, or hell, if you just want to mention some of your favorites from 2022, let us know in that comic section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling. And Brad, just in case, since we're 60 subscribers away, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, TikTok, and of course Patreon. Those links are for you to find right down below.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, guys, we are going to log off. A great, successful year of Good Will Hunting in 2022. 2023 have some big things for us. So, we will see you next year.
Slap at the base.
Slap at the base.